update on my clothing rack challenge. As you can see behind me, this rack is full. That's because I refilled it. I had a tote of clothes, I took everything out, and I refilled the rack. At one point, I was gonna try to get all this stuff up by the end of January. Some life stuff kind of happened. It's all good. I didn't get the refill portion of this rack listed, but that's okay. We also cleaned out our personal closets this weekend, and in there I found some more things to add to the rack. So I'll have a February goal to clear the rack behind me. So I went through and I listed everything that was on the rack, and I had a contest on Instagram where I said, what do you think this resale value is of these clothes? Now, I list high, and I usually do a sale of 20% almost all the time. So I'll tell you the prices of my high pricing, and then also I'll tell you what the 20% price is, okay? And then we will go back and we'll see who was closest on my Instagram. So I had 49 items on the rack, and 3 were too damaged. So I donated 3 of them or tossed them. Actually, I tossed, I think, all 3 of them. So I had 46 items that I listed. My cost of goods for those items, including the 3 damaged ones, were $324.72. At first I was like, ooh, that's a lot. But then I have a note down here at the bottom. I realized $100 of those cost of goods were just 3 items that were my personal items. I never wore them, and I was counting full retail price. So I had a Hufflepuff cardigan I got from Hot Topic. I paid around $50 for that. I had a shirt from the Disney parks. I paid around $30 for that. And I had a Torrid tank top that I paid around $20. So these are my personal items. They still had the tags on them. So $100 out of that $324 was just towards 3 items, personal items. And that's just me getting my money back. So actually my cost of goods was closer to $224. All right, so I listed every item, all 46 items. And the listed value was $1,463. That's pretty good, right? If you want to take that, yes, I automatically would accept 20% off, like automatically. That's about $1,170, $1,170. So I'm going to go back and look and see who was close in that range to say that I would make, anywhere between $1,200 and $1,400 on these items. I realize I'm probably going to get less for these. So let's talk about what's sold, and I'll find some, I'll get some screenshots and I'll show you what sold from that rack already. 13 out of the 46 have sold. And this is in about 3 weeks time. The money that I've received back in my pocket, so I've already taken the cost of goods out of the item, the shipping cost, everything. So the money back in my pocket from selling 13 items is $210. So I said, if you didn't count my personal items, I was at about $224 invested into these clothes. And I've gotten $210 back from selling 13 items. Realistically, there's 33 items more listed. I mean, they could stay up for a year, who knows? But realistically, I should make anywhere at least $500 more, right around $500 more. And then, I made another note. I was trying to figure out what it said. So out of that $224 of the cost of goods, if you don't count my personal items, $60 were what I consider higher cost of goods. I paid either up a little bit on YouTube auctions or even on Whatnot. I have a Torrid sweater that I paid almost 20 bucks for from Whatnot because I liked it, and I'm going to try to sell it, and I'm basically going to try to get my 20 bucks back. So I had a few goods that were higher cost of goods. I had that dress, an Eileen Fisher dress that I didn't bother to remove the stain, so I basically got my money back. It was like $18 and I sold it for $24. I had a couple other things like the Talbot suit and a jacket that were all about $18 on Donatello's auctions. So I spent about 60 bucks on higher cost goods. So that's that. It just goes to show that this is all money, right? And even if we're selling them, I had 49 items and I said the cost of goods was $324. Even if I sold them for $10 a pop, I've got $490. So, you get your money back. And I'm selling them for more than $10 a pop. I said that the resale value was about $1,400, 20% off is $1,200, and realistically, I will probably in the very end get closer to $800. But $800 is great. I am going to start doing monthly clearance sales on my clothing, and I'm going to eventually do a clothing whatnot, I think. I'm not exactly sure. I don't love the idea of clothing on whatnot because I just think it's harder to explain something in 30 seconds. So I am not buying clothing anymore. I have clothing still to list. I shouldn't say I'm not buying it because I found an awesome 90s, 80s leotard yesterday, but I kind of just scan a few of the areas that I like to shop in. Like I go look at swimsuits. I go kind of glance, in the plus size and some of the men's, and I just kind of look to see if something jumps out at me. And yesterday it was this leotard from the 90s with the tags on. So that was pretty cool. That's going to 5 into 75, 60. So that's a cool find. But I am currently not sourcing clothing. I want to sell everything here, and I do still have a little bit in a tote over there. I sorted the tote on a video recently, and I haven't put it together yet, but I will show you what all this stuff is. So my next goal that I'll check back in at is February's listings. It's not as much as I had in January. And then I'll update and see how many more from these 46 items have been sold. So 13 out of 46 in about 3 weeks' time isn't too shabby for clothing, and I'll keep you updated. So congrats to whoever won. I will go calculate that out, and I will start that, and I will tag you on Instagram. This video is going to be on YouTube, but I'm so excited for everybody who participated in this contest. Okay, so I cleared out the rack of clothes and I filled it back up again, but I cleared out the rack of clothes and I listed them all, and I calculated how much that rack was listed for on eBay. So I listed 46 items on eBay, and I calculated what their original price was before any coupons, before any sales, before any offers. And I calculated how much that was. And I asked you guys to guess, how much do you think this rack is worth? And let me show you the results. Okay, so you can see right at the top there, one of the most recent guesses was $14.75, and that was from Warrior Mama, and she was right on because my total was $14.63. I just made a YouTube video about it, telling you the breakdown of everything, but she got the closest to the full listing prices on eBay. So congratulations. Thanks for participating, everyone.